first time because this month is very special to me. February will be my 3rd year into USANA. On the 21st, I signed up a week after the STI event. So I got to start my business with the excitement of everybody talking about STI. And what is STI? And what's this STI thing? Why is everybody so pumped up? And why is everybody's business exploding? And I was just simply that guy that was trying to get out of a hole. I was looking for that opportunity. Like Chris Harrell said, I was looking for that oxygen. I was working 3 jobs. I come from the restaurant industry. I got made promises that were not kept. So I did what most people do when they're looking for some money. I went and got a 2nd job. And that wasn't enough, so I went and got a 3rd job. So while I was managing restaurants in the evening, serving tables during lunch, and helping one of my friends be an office manager during the morning, I looked at my life and I said, this is not what I want. I was ready for that change. I was ready for something different. But how do I build this business? How do I do it? I don't have no time. Everybody, looks and says, okay, well, my plate is full. How am I going to take a new task? New Year's Eve came around and I got to meet the one person that was going to have that answer for me. Who knew that me coming out of my 2nd job, getting ready to go wash my car, and start the year clean, because I said I always got to start the new year right. Clean car, 1 new garment, new things like that. I made Jared Krebs out of washed up, and we were the last 2 cars in the washed up. And I was actually the exception, because they were already shut down, but they said, we can get 1 more. How did I know that that was going to be the answer to my solution to my problem? I got to meet Jared by just listening to him talk to somebody else that was blowing him off when he was offered an opportunity. And I looked around and said, why am I not getting that opportunity? And this person is getting offered, and she's like, well, I don't care. And what about you? And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm right behind you. So I went outside, and I'm waiting for my car. And for some of you guys who know Jared, he's got that nice big number that says residual income. Another sign, residual income, hello. So he comes up to me and says, hey, nice car. And I look at him and I'm like, are you kidding me? You can have the Hummer. So we start talking, we start exchanging cards. And we decided to meet. I looked at the information and I said, well, Jared, let me tell you what my life looks like. I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have to go help one of my friends open his office. I'm his office manager for 3 hours. Then from there, I go to Olive Garden. I'm serving tables during the day. And then from Olive Garden, I go to Cheesecake Factory to be a manager. So you tell me how I can build this business, and I'm going to join it. So he tells me, first of all, you're willing to be teachable. And I said, what do I have to lose? If you're giving me the opportunity and only telling me I have to be teachable, I'm there. Why? Because I realized, look, my life and my family, I was a successful one. I went to the school, I got the grades, I got the career, I got the great job, that beautiful house, that bigger income than my parents, but I didn't have a life. I had lost girlfriends because you know what, I didn't have time to be with them. It's funny because I have one of my ex-employees here that's doing USANA on a different team, that today was the first time that her and I actually had a conversation. Because this whole time I thought I was that boss, that double SOB, because I was the enforcer of respect. And it's nice to know that, wow, for once, she didn't see me as that double SOB. I was actually a human being, because I didn't like that industry. So as I talked to Jared, I said, Jared, what do I have to do? He goes, just be teachable. So you know what, this is what my day looked like. I'm going to tell you guys what I did to find my 2 hours a day. Because I learned 2 hours a day brings freedom your way. So Jared said, find 2 hours, I'll show you the way. Done. In the morning, my 3 favorite audios. Everything I do now pretty much comes out of those 3 audios. I don't call it plagiarism, I just borrow it. Jim Rome, everybody knows it's right outside. Becky Lawson, The Approach, was one of my favorite ones. She was a gold director with USANA. I want to know what a USANA associate is saying. But the one that really hit home was Lisa Kidder, Prospecting with Posture. And I realized this was all about posture. So during the day, in the morning, because I couldn't call anybody at 6 o'clock in the morning, I listened to my audio on the way to the office. I listened to my audio on the way home from Cheesecake. Those were my training. That was my school. That was what I listened to. Transition from my 2nd job to my 3rd job, which is serving to management. I had to go from server to management mode. I didn't eat there. I packed the lunch. I had a list of my 5 phone calls I had to make in transition. I drove from my 2nd job to Cheesecake Factory, parked in the parking lot, did a quick costume change, which I got really good at it because all I had to do is I said, look, I'm going to be that guy that wears the same black pants all day, every single day, and I just change my shirt and put a different tie. Whatever it took. Those 5 calls happened in that hour. And if I knew you at Cheesecake Factory, forget it. You were going to get talked to. I became the master of the 3-way calls. Because STIH was not there, the solutions did not exist. So I had to become a master and expert of setting up appointments for Jared. So if you walked into the restaurant, I knew you were there for an hour. I knew you were there because that's how long it takes the average sitting time. So when you sat down and say, hey, how are you? I'm glad you came in. How's your work? How's your lunch? How's this and that? Excellent. Let me ask you a question. Back then, it was not the scripts that we're using today. You want to talk about being teachable? I was that guy. I'm looking for the people that want to make 6-figure income in the next 2 to 5 years because you're trying to help science. I was that person. But not only did I do that in English, guess what? I translated it and I did it in Spanish. Because I was teachable and I wanted that enough. And I said, hey, it worked for me. I just got to find a couple more like me. Then I realized, okay, I don't got 5 minutes to talk to every single table. So let me simplify it. Let me just try to ask people, hey, you want to make some money in your spare time? Yes or no? Why? Because I work at Cheesecake and I wasn't the image of health. But you know what? I can show them how to make money. Money has no image. So I started asking people, you want to make some money? You want to make some money? You want to make some money? You're like, yes, 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 yes. Give me a second. I'm going to have you talk to somebody. Is that okay? Ask for permission. I said, sure. Hey, Jared, how you doing? Hey, listen, I'm in the restaurant right now. I'm going to give you the phone. Hey, his name is Mike. He is, he's a server at this other restaurant. He's awesome. I'm going to have you talk to him, okay? My phone will be in my hand, walking like this to the restaurant. Hey, yeah, no problem, I can do this now. Absolutely. And say, hey, Mike, how you doing? This is Jared. He's one of the fastest growing associates here. He's one of the top recruiters in Texas. He's going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing, okay? Hey, Jared, this is Mike. Here you go. I give him my phone and I walk away. I knew I had to talk to at least 2 people a day because that's what's going to bring freedom my way. And you know what? The cool thing about it is that once he started talking to him, I would just look, and then they would put down the phone, and I would just go up to him and say, so what did you think? Awesome, I'm meeting Jared on Wednesday. All right, let me get my phone. Yeah, go ahead and bring his food out. That was the beautiful part about Jefe. You can control the kitchen. If he was talking, I didn't want to be interrupted because the food was getting cold, so the food was going to wait in the window. So I knew Jared was done, and now you get to eat. It didn't matter. I became the master of doing that, and I just did it over and over and over. I also got to the point that I didn't care that my fellow managers were looking at me build this business. They saw me get started, they laughed at my shaker bottle, they laughed at it, I didn't care, they laughed at my replica can, they laughed at my surge pack. I was the guy getting caught in the liquor room. Get off your phone. I'm not the only manager here. Get out of your phone. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get fired. Get out of here. Okay, sorry, Jared. I left the company a year later. A year to me being in USANA, I said, thank you so much, Cheesecake Factory. You were awesome. Here's my 2-week notice. I'm out. I kept in touch with managers. One in particular. And he watched me build this business for a whole year. He saw how my life changed. And he started saying, hey, you still have your second job? Hey, I'm down to 2. I'm almost down to 1. He watched me. A year after I left, the same manager that was busting me on the liquor room, in the cooler, in the back dock, he decided to join me. Now, I'm the guy that I called him and I said, hey, are you in the liquor room? Those sound like bottles. Yes, I am. But what I want to know is which manager's catching you on the phone now. You know what? If I can give you guys anything, it's just when you have it, just find the time. Find the 5 minutes here, the 10 minutes there. Because if you really want it, 2 people a day will bring your freedom your way. Thank you for your time.